Karen from County Fairgrounds USA, countyfairgrounds.net. Welcome to today's podcast.
Do I have Frank Lopez on the line with me?
Yes, you do.
Hi, Frank. You're representing Prescott Frontier Days, the world's oldest rodeo?
Yes, I am, ma'am.
Okay. So do you want to tell the country why this is the world's oldest rodeo? Because that's the first thought that came to me.
Well, that's always a great question to start off with, and there's actually a criteria to be recognized as an official rodeo, and I'll go through that with you quickly. It'll just take a couple of seconds. Number one, you need a committee to organize this and put it on. And number two, you need to invite cowboys to compete. Number three, you need to charge admission and pay for the expenses. And number four, there needs to be a prize awarded. And number five, and that's the main thing that Prescott has that's made it official, the world's oldest rodeo since 1888, is that we have documentation. We have proof. We have receipts, and we have a sheet that shows everyone who competed and the prizes that were awarded. And so the documentation is probably the most important part of the whole thing, and that's what makes us the world's oldest rodeo officially. And even in the 1947 Encyclopedia Britannica stated that the first contest held within and given rodeo prizes was in Prescott, Arizona. And it was a territory still at that time, I want to say, if my history is correct. But yeah, that's part of what makes officially the world's oldest rodeo in Prescott, Arizona.
Okay. I think you're celebrating, 135 years this year?
Yes, we are. And what makes that long-running 135 years great is we survived World War I, World War II, the Spanish flu and the CV flu. I mean, there's been so many things that have, clipped other rodeos from continuing their tradition for 1 year or 2 years or whatnot, but the world's oldest rodeo has been able to continue. And we even made it through, like I said, the CV a couple years ago, and they made it to we only had 25% of our paying customers who could come in. So they got, and what was also great about that rodeo, all the competitors, there were so many rodeos that were closed during that year, the quality of the competitors who were part of that rodeo was off the map. And I'm not good with a lot of competitors' names, but the show was one of the greatest rodeo shows of its time because of that. It drew all the top riders and performers in. So that's 135 years. This is the year. Okay.
I kind of looked at the rodeo grounds do you know what your attendance is approximately?
Easily over 5,000, and we have and you get standing room, and then we've added on like VIP areas, VIP sections that aren't in part of the grandstands. But yeah, it's been said in the past that there's been over 10,000 people around at one rodeo event. But our ticket sales and our walk standing room only and VIP and all of that, it's under 10,000 per event, but we're sold out right now.
I would imagine so. At any rate, so I think this starts on the 28th and it goes through the 4th of July, and there's lots and lots and lots of events I looked at that are going on. So how do you start? What's your first event?
Well, we started off by the City Council proclaiming that this is Rodeo Week on Tuesday, June 21st, that this is the official Rodeo Week and the world's oldest rodeo. And they haven't done it yet, but the state has named Prescott as the Christmas City, and I think it's time we turn it into Prescott is the World Rodeo City, but I don't know if they have anything to do with that. But the doors open on Tuesday the 28th for the first rodeo, and during that time, but after that, and that's interesting, the way the rodeo the day comes for the July 4th because they have a week of a schedule. So we start out on a Tuesday, and by the up and coming Saturday is when we have our rodeo parade, which is on Saturday the 2nd.
Okay.
The parade begins about 7 a.m. And also, too, we have a Junior Bonner, a VIP parade lineup for that parade, and that's what makes it special. I don't know if you're going to ask me about the Junior Bonner. If that was going to be a question for you, but we have Junior Bonner Experience anniversary during this week as well. There's also, we have the World's Oldest Rodeo this year, the DTX, and they always wanted to do this because the rodeo is sold out and the community can't be as involved and watch and participate. Well, now we have DTX, which is going to be a broadcast live via satellite or whatever devices they're using. They're going to have a big screen TV downtown at a football field, about 100 feet from the town square. There's a junior high, football field, grass field, and down there they're going to be broadcasting the rodeo live. So anyone who wants to pay the fee to come in, there'll be vendors and food and clothes, and there's going to even be some mutton-busting and machine bull riding. So we're trying to this year just go over the top and have a more of a community experience, and that'll be the DTX is on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, I took a look at the schedule, and I saw all kinds of things. I didn't see bull riding. Do you have bull riding?
Oh yeah, it's a full slate on the standards. We have bull riding, saddle bronc riding, bareback riding, steer wrestling, clown. Well, not saying clown, but the bullfighting they call it. Oh yes, there, and the barrel racing for the ladies, and it's a full slate of rodeo for the World's Oldest Rodeo. And actually, even at the beginning, the first event is the wild horse race, where they bring in, I think it's 10 wild horses and 2 competitors per horse, and they have to, lasso the horse and put a saddle on it and ride it around the arena. So that's quite an experience just to start off with for the rodeo show.
Sounds like it. Okay. All right. So you have events for children too, right?
Well, this year we do. Actually, officially for the rodeo, this year we have mutton-busting.
Mutton-busting.
There's some mutton-busting because we want to share the rodeo experience with the younger generation. And the mutton-busting starts on, let me officially get that here. I want to say Friday. And Saturday, they have the mutton busting in the arena. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Double checking on the schedule here, but yeah, mutton busting, never before in the World's Oldest Rodeo. Mutton busting for the kids. Once they have that experience, everybody wants to grow up to be a cowboy.
Right. Yeah, I didn't realize you had never had it before, so that kind of surprises me. Because
a few years before there was a group called Greater Prescott JCs, and they had a Little Wrangler rodeo that ran for about 5 years, and then it became a part of the first week before the rodeo started. For 2 years, they had a full-on Little Wrangler rodeo, which had steer riding, mutton busting, even bull riding, open bull riding event, and what I like to share about rodeos, and most people don't know, is that it is usually run by volunteers. Individuals who give up their time, months, even a whole year preparing for these rodeos to be put on. And they usually lose gas or can't continue because the people that were volunteering and putting them on had to move on or something happened. But that's the thing about this rodeo. And a lot of rodeos out there, it's all done by volunteers. So that's what makes it happen. Okay,
but you got professional riders and bronc riders coming in, right?
That's it's 135 years of being recognized as an official professional rodeo event. the cowboys. I mean, that's what also they're paid to perform, and that's
right. Right.
Oh, it's professional. And if we're talking professionals, if you're Tom Mix, a lot of people would know his name if they didn't know old cowboys. But there's a Tom Mix came to Prescott and performed in our rodeo. Also in the 70s, a gentleman named Larry Mahan, who was a top world champion all around rodeo performer, came to Prescott. He actually, I want to say, came to Prescott 8 times and performed, and he tied for the bull riding event one of those years. Rodeo's a challenging sport. Will Rogers even visited Prescott. That's a old timer there, but yeah, and it goes back. Prescott Rodeo has a lot of history, and it is a professional event.
I interviewed one of the professional bull riders. I should have checked his name before I talked to you, but I didn't. But some of these guys are kind of loony, if you ask me. I mean, these bull riders, they get on these bulls and they ride these bulls and they fall off and they get hurt and they get back on them again. So
they do. Well, for that little Wrangler rodeo, I was a JC at the time, and they had an open bull event, and everyone was having a beer a week before, and the guy said, "Oh, we're signing up," and I ended up being the only one who signed up, and then I couldn't get out of it. And my son and daughter were there, and they were filming, and I was like, "Oh, I've never been on a bull like this before." And I say I lasted 2 seconds, but the video shows different, but in slow motion. But no, it is something where you have to train yourself to get up and get back on again. And I'm glad I only had to do it once on a dare. But
yeah, I can't remember the guy's name. I should have looked it up before I talked to you. But he was a pretty famous bull rider. And he's telling me, I broke this, I broke that, but I'm going back and I'm going to break some more. Okay. All right. Okay, so let me ask you this. One of the things, and I'm a senior, and one of the things that always concerns me when we start talking about a lot of people in a very crowded event is restroom facilities. What are your restroom facilities like?
Well, we have, handicap accessible restroom facilities, and we've even stepped it up to where we have these high quality, they're just not porta-johns or these trailers that people can use. We're actually in a stage right now where we're doing some remodeling, and we're adding restrooms. Next year we're going to be full on. We'll probably have one of the nicer restroom facilities for a rodeo, like we have arena. We're an open door rodeo, so there's going to be some flies probably flying around or something, but actually we go to the point of sanitizing the whole rodeo before it gets started, and that started with that CV event a few years ago, and we come through and we sanitize the whole rodeo.
Wow.
Before every event, and even twice on Saturday. We have 2 events, and we come through, and so the measures are taken to make sure that this is a quality event.
Okay.
It's definitely
okay.
we have some. No, I just want to also share we have some great hosts and security, but the hosts, you walk through the door and you show a host your ticket, they will walk you to your seat and they'll show you exactly where you're supposed to be. So that's the kind of stuff they take care of all your needs here at the World's Oldest Rodeo with that. And as far as food, there's all types of vendors are here. We have a huge parking lot. They were all coming in, and last night we were putting up a tent because I'm a working part of this rodeo, and we put up a tent. And, one of the places was selling quesadillas, and I was wishing they were open because I'd be ready for one. But yeah, it was. There's a lot of quality food. There's a VIP section. We even have a new area, a new seating that's a deck that offers catered food, and the ticket is a little bit more, and I think some of those tickets are still available. But you get a topside view of the rodeo from this deck, and you get included with your ticket a catered food selection, where that's a little bit different for us this year. So we're just stepping it up as far as delivering VIP service to anyone who wants to be a part of that.
Let me ask about parking. What's the parking like?
Well, parking is great. We have a crew that directs everyone into their parking spot, and last year we broke a record. We had like 926 cars parked in our parking lots, and you're directed exactly to where you can park, and so it's for easy exiting as well at the end. But when you have that many cars at a sellout show, it does take a little time, but you come in, it's $5 to park, and at the same time, we offer you a program for the rodeo, so you can leave it in your car. You don't have to carry it with you in the rodeo. But it's and I want to remind everyone, leave your purchases in the car. We got clear bags, so that's a new thing that people have been doing, for security wise. So bring a clear bag and put your extra things that women like to carry with them. With that.
So, what's your favorite part of this?
My favorite part is just being a part of it. Being a part of something that's been around for 135 years. A couple weeks ago, I put on an 8-hour podcast, and that was a lot of fun. But also, too, I'm helping put up a tent, and I'm also a parking chairman as well as a podcast host, and it's just the whole everything about it. I call it rodeo day camp. For 2 weeks here, you're just part of the day camp of getting this rodeo arena ready for the professional rodeo experience that the audience gets to have and share. But also what I want to share with you, what's my favorite part this year is the 50-year anniversary of Junior Bonner. And are you familiar with that movie?
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Okay, well, Junior Bonner, Steve McQueen was the star in this cowboy movie made in 1971 and previewed in 1972. But Junior Bonner and a handful of top actors and actresses came to Prescott for 10 weeks, and during the rodeo time, they filmed action shots for the rodeo, and they were part of the parade. And it's a great movie. It became a cowboy movie that to be measured by, of just the way it was filmed and the way they presented it. And a lot of locals participated. But having Steve McQueen in town, it was like a few years ago we had Bruce Springsteen coming to town. But Steve McQueen was part of this movie, and the Junior Bonner experience is what we're saluting this year with his grandson and family members who are still around to be a part of the parade. And Steve McQueen left a legacy, a legacy of good with his family, and they were excited to be a part of this year. And we're showing the Junior Bonner movie on Monday night here at the arena. We have a kickoff party, and on Monday night we come down. But just being a part of the rodeo and just cowboy lifestyle experience is just different, just wholesome, and it's a family environment that's really strong. And it's but everything about the rodeo I enjoy. The hard work that gets up to it, and that's the way the rodeo evolved. From in 1888. Before that time, the cowboys used to come to Prescott, and they would jump around with their horses, and they had these self-regulated competitions, and the local authorities were saying, hey, well, if we could get these guys organized, maybe we could keep them from getting into trouble. So it was, it was really about trying to tame the cowboy spirit in the beginning, and they were just doing the stuff themselves, and then they got tamed on that, and they're like, hey, let's try to tame them. Let's give them some goals. But, you want to get back to the history. I want to share also about the world's oldest rodeo. 1888, the rules, the guidelines were started in Prescott. They refined them to where they called them the Prescott rules. And in 1928, the Prescott rules became like a guideline for other rodeos around the United States and the world. So not only is it just an event, but the rules were started here and so many other things. It's like being the Jack LaLanne. Jack LaLanne started push-ups and all these other things in health. Well, the world's oldest rodeo started all these other guidelines and opportunities in the equine horse world for this professional business that is there.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a lot of fun, and it sounds like you're going to be packed, and it sounds like you're going to be really busy. I think most of your tickets have been sold out?
Most of the tickets have been sold. Like I said, they can go downtown and be a part, watch the rodeo live on the big screen. And also what happens after the rodeo, starting on Thursday night through Saturday night, is the rodeo dance. They have a rodeo dance downtown at the Rouse parking lot, and it's a great rodeo dance as well too. I think they're even considering having I'm putting this out there, dance contest for sometime at the end of the dance night. But yeah, they have the rodeo dance. We have the parade. It's just a great time during the 4th of July. And it's been said that the rodeo and all the businesses that contribute to the community, it brings in about $40 million for that week for our local community. So it's good business for everybody. And it's
my idea of good business is having a lot of fun. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, it is a lot of fun, and it's come a long ways. And when I was a kid, I remember, because I've lived in Prescott all my life, except for 2 years, 1 year in Phoenix, 1 year in Tucson. The rodeo has always been a big part of the history of Prescott, and it's going to continue to be. And I just want to put in also too real quickly, Jim Dewey Brown is our latest general manager. We had J.C. Trujillo, who was a 3-time saddle bronc rider and who ran the rodeo for, I want to say 18 years. And Jim Dewey Brown, in his own right, he won the world's oldest rodeo saddle bronc riding in 1999 and 2003. So, and now he's running the show. He's such a class act and a great guy. He's taken this rodeo to the next level. He's improved it in so many ways, and it's just nice to have some fresh blood here that is taking this rodeo to the next level, and it's going to reflect in the experience that people come and see with that.
Okay, Frank, I've enjoyed the conversation. Have a great rodeo. Sounds like it's going to be fun.
Thank you. And you have a great 4th of July weekend yourself as well.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.